Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. Bringing you guys our first week of matches here for the Pokemon for Glory League P4G. The Minnesota Vikavolts are taking on Coach KyleAye and the Miami Donphans for our week 1 showdown. If you guys are hyped for this video and the start of a brand spanking new season with an awesome team, hit that like button down below and make sure you guys subscribe if you're brand spanking new. Of course, t-shirts in the description below. I might have another surprise for you there, but I'm not quite sure if they're available yet, so definitely check the description below in case the surprise is there, because you're not going to want to miss it. And of course, we got a question of the day today. If you guys didn't see our draft breakdown, that link is in the description as well, and you can let me know what your thoughts are on the team. Do you like the team? Do you hate the team? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. I love reading your comments, guys, so appreciate that. But it is time for us to battle it out against KyleAye. We got ourselves a tough matchup here. I tend to have really rocky starts to the beginning of seasons and kind of catch momentum later on, but I really want to start this one off with a nice W against KyleAye, who I've beaten in the past a couple times now, so definitely got the momentum there. But Scolipede is so terrifying, man, so terrifying. But team builder also in the description. Everything's in the description. Check it out, guys. It's like one click. Check it out. Anyway, I'm gonna get connected to Kyle here. We're gonna jump into the match and see exactly what goes down. All right, guys, we are connected here with Kyle and about to find out exactly what team he is bringing. You can see kind of what I'm predicting on the screen. I definitely think we're going to see the Latios. I think we're going to see the Marowak because it checks Tapu Koko, which I didn't bring. Scolipede 100%, Ninetales 100%. I'm hoping we see Blastoise because I'm kind of relying on that as a switching for Primarina. And then I think we're going to see Dugtrio or Superior. That's kind of my prediction. So we'll see exactly what he's going to bring right now. But I feel pretty confident in saying a bunch of those, unless he comes out with like a totally different strategy than I kind of anticipated. But I do think that that's probably what we're going to see. So let's see what he brings. He brings exactly what I expected, but doesn't bring the Ninetales, rather brings a Zoroark instead, which is pretty scary just because Zoroark is kind of annoying. It's actually really annoying, but this does give me a kind of a little bit of a fit because now I have to figure out which one is his Stealth Rock setter if I want to use my Moltres in the most effective way possible. I am leaning towards leading Moltres because I think in my mind he likely tries to lead Zoroark disguised as something, or Dugtrio pretending to be Zoroark so he can Stealth Rock. And I think getting Fox out there at the beginning is a relatively good strategy. Again, I really want to keep Fox healthy to kind of help against the Scolipede. I'm glad I don't have to deal with the weather. That's really nice. You know, if I think Beedrill's a really good lead too, but again, if he's Scarf Dugtrio, then that doesn't really work too well. So in terms of my lead option, like I don't really want to mess this up. I don't want him to get Rocks up right away though, which is why I'm leaning towards leading Fox, the Moltres, so I can kind of avoid the Rocks. And I match up decently well against Zoroark. Let me just run a quick calc against Zoroark really quickly. But like the worst he can do is like knock off or go for like a Choice Specs Dark Pulse doesn't even have like come close to knocking me out. So I think I'm gonna do that because I just feel like the potential lead going for Rock's lead is just way too high for me to like want to mess with. And Fox's usefulness is really in its lead capabilities and just the ability to get it in before Rocks. Because once Rocks is up, again, Moltres loses a lot of its viability, and its job in this match is to kind of help me against Scolipede. So if he leads Scolipede, this works out really well. If he leads something like Dugtrio, this works out really well. Relatively well anyway. I think he's going to disguise a Zoroark as Dugtrio though. So if we see a Dugtrio lead, we can pretty much expect potential Zoroark. But again, whatever his lead is, I get a pretty safe Flamethrower / U-turn, depending on what I feel is safest. I don't think he leads Latios or Blastoise, so let's see what he's going to lead with. But Moltres is a good lead for me. Like I said, it just feels pretty comfortable. I think this is the right decision. And he's going to lead Mask Off, which is going to be the, it's actually going to be the, whatchamacallit, the Marowak. So is this a Marowak or is this a Zoroark? And in either situation, Hurricane is really a good play here. So I think I'm going to go for the Hurricane, and we'll find out right away what he is. I have to hit this Hurricane, which is kind of unfortunate, but if he sets up Stealth Rocks, it's not a big deal. So I'm going to go for the Hurricane on the first turn, and 70% accurate. I really want to hit this. It's very possible it's a Zoroark, but at least I'll find out what it is early on. It's possible that he simply U-turns out, which would let me know that it's Zoroark. He could also go for like a Dark Pulse. We have no idea, but definitely Hurricane is my play. It does a lot to Marowak. If this is Marowak, then I can beat it 1v1 with Moltres. So that's really nice because we'll outspeed it. So we'll find out pretty much right away, no matter what, whether this is, you know, and I have the Charty Berry, so I know I could live a Rock type move if he's carrying that. He's got like Stone Edge or something. It's really a non-issue. So this is a decent situation for me if we hit the Hurricane. And again, inaccurate moves, bummer. but I'm gonna go and say that this is going to be, I'm gonna say it's the Zoroark. If I had to guess, type it out, let me know. He's gonna just hard switch. Really concerned, GT is cannon, that's gonna be likely the Blastoise. He just goes hard Blastoise here. We go for the Hurricane and miss, so definitely a bit unfortunate that we miss, but we know that that's Blastoise. 1,000,000% I'm going right into Siren here. We're not even gonna overthink this. Siren is 1,000,000% my play, and his switch-ins to a powerful Moonblast are very, very limited, so we can pretty safely go in Siren here. The only issue is if he predicts that switch and like doubles out and goes into something like Scolipede, but we can play around that. I could go right back into Moltres. So I don't know if he's gonna make that double prediction this early in the game. I could have a Gracium Z, which could really, really mess with his Blastoise. He doesn't know, and Moltres can definitely take a Water Pulse or Scald in that regard. So I'm not too sure what he's gonna do. Missing that Hurricane's a bit of a bummer though. We would have had a chance to confuse him. We would have had a chance to get like a decent amount of chip damage on him and get some intel on him, but it looks like we'll find out what he's gonna go for here. I expect potential like water type move. Maybe he makes a prediction. He's gonna Mega Evolve and stay in, so that's really good. I don't think Blastoise can really do anything to me aside for go for like a Toxic. So my play 1,000,000%, I should be able to take the hit really no matter what he goes for. He's gonna go for the Water Pulse here. The only way this really stinks is if we get confused, and it does a lot of damage to us, and we don't get confused, which is really good. So we get some intel there that his Blastoise is Water Pulse, fine by me. And my play 1,000,000% is to go for the Moonblast. We're not gonna overthink this. He's in a tough situation here where he has to decide what he's going to do. We should be faster than the Blastoise. I have enough speed on this thing unless he's got a lot of speed on his Blastoise, I should be faster. Blastoise typically can't do much to Primarina, and we're in a good situation here to just bop something really, really hard with a Moonblast right now. Again, it does a tremendous amount to Marowak. It two-shots the Marowak. It does a tremendous amount to the Scolipede. Two-shots the Scolipede, and again, it one-shots the Latios. It's really, really good. So having Primarina here is really, it's a good situation for us. Able to just do a lot of damage, and it should two-shot the Blastoise unless he's like super duper like specially defensive. Like if I calc the Blastoise hit here on the, and again, Blastoise doesn't have recovery, which is nice. So Moonblast is 61 to 73 if he's max HP, but no SpDef. Which is most Blastoises, they don't typically run a lot of HP, and we should be faster. He needs a good amount of speed to outspeed us. And there's really no reason for him to have tried to outspeed us here unless he expected me to run like a very speedy Primarina. But I think his switch in is, see, that's the thing. This is where Primarina is so good, because if he goes like Marowak, he could lose the Marowak right away if I go for the water move. So he's got to make a really difficult play here and try to figure out what his best decision is going to be. He's going to just simply stay in with the Blastoise, which is probably a decent option. It should two-shot him, and you're going to see that does a very good amount of damage. He's going to actually just go for the Water Pulse again, and all I have to do is just hope I do not get confused. We get confused, and that is a big deal. Now I have to make a tough play here. Confusion is 25%. I'm going to Moonblast, man. We're going to play our odds here. But getting hit with Confusion would be very unfortunate, because Primarina has an easy kill right in front of her, and he has no switch-ins to a Moonblast right now. So we have to just hope that we don't get confused. I think that's the right play. I don't really want to mess around with switching into this thing with other Pokemon and whatever else. So I do want to see, though, kind of get a step ahead here. Is Mega Beedrill able to knock out Blastoise at this range with the U-turn? Again, I don't want to be trapped by Dugtrio. It looks like we should easily knock it out with the U-turn, so we have that as an option. He's going to switch out. This is good. Please don't hit yourself in Confusion. Here comes Swarm, which I'm assuming is the Scolipede. Here comes the Scolipede. Beautiful shiny. Please don't hit yourself in Confusion. This damage is incredibly crucial for us, especially on Scolipede. And we hit the Moonblast. That is huge. That is very, very big. This is going to do over half to the Scolipede, and that is actually going to do so much damage. Dude, look at that damage. Easy prediction here. We go right into Fox the Phoenix. Don't even have to think about it. I've planned out this match pretty extensively already in terms of the moves we're gonna go for. He likely goes for a Mega Horn here, potentially predicting a Bronzong. He doesn't know that Moltres is fully physically defensive at this point in time, and I'm able to go in before rocks, and my primary response to Scolipede is Moltres, and he's already weakened to 30%. So both Blastoise is at about 30%, and Scolipede is at about 30%, and that is amazing, because now Stealth Rocks are going to basically probably be the end of this Scolipede, especially if he's Life Orb. He may be able to hang on just slightly, but let me just take a quick look at that calc, because I'm assuming this is an offensive Scolipede, just based on that damage. Yeah, so Moonblast does 65 to 76, or 77 if he's offensive Scoly. So that leads me to believe that he's offensive just based on the damage there. So we know he's not like a bulky lead Scolipede. So good start there for Primarina, really breaking down walls. You know, we're gonna have to be careful around the Blastoise, but we'll make an easy switch here. The good thing about this is a 30% burn chance with our Flame Body if he decides to attack us here. He does go for the Poison Jab, straightforward play here. Hopefully we don't get poisoned, but this has a chance to burn him, and he's gonna activate his Speed Boost, so he doesn't, we don't have anything going on too crazy there. Now I have to make a tough play here. Do I go for the Flamethrower to knock him out? Do I think he is gonna be rocking with the, whatchamacallit, the rock type move? Does he have a rock type move on this thing? I don't know. I think I should Flamethrower and play it safe either way, because we have a chance to knock out the Scolipede right now. He could switch into Marowak, but I don't know if he has a rock type move, and if I had a chance to knock this thing out, it's worth it to me. He does, if he goes for a move, he goes for the rock type move right now, which means I could go Bronzong and try to set rocks, but he could also switch out into something like Marowak predicting the fire type move, so it's kind of like a toss-up there. Flamethrower is a pretty solid option as well, because I think 2 Flamethrowers will take out the Blastoise. I'm gonna go for the Flamethrower. I'm gonna play it safe on this turn, and just in case he has the Rock Slide, because if I get rid of Scolipede, then you know, Fox has done its job, in my opinion. So I'll keep the offensive pressure on here. If he decides to attack us, you know, I can take the Rock Slide with the Charty Berry. I don't think he has the Rock Slide. I think if he had it, he would attack already. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see a switch out, potentially into Marowak. But either way, this will give me intel on Marowak versus Zoroark, which I'm pretty sure is a thing. He's gonna switch out, so that's fine. He goes actually back into Blastoise. Now, will this be enough to two-shot him, our Flamethrower? Will this be enough to two-shot him? And this is where that Hurricane damage earlier definitely comes into play, but, and that looks like a 2-hit KO, unless that was a crit, and it wasn't. So I can pretty safely Flamethrower again. Let me just run the calc to make sure that wasn't like some really crazy, like min-max roll. Flamethrower does 14.5 to 17.5. He needs a good amount of speed to outspeed us, and Primarina was faster before. So we know we're faster, because Primarina was faster, and Primarina hit 107, so I know I'm faster. I'm gonna say that the Flamethrower knocks him out. It's a risky play if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna say it knocks him out, because based on the damage we got there, that looked like it was a chaos. So I'm gonna go for the Flamethrower kill here. And I'm assuming this will knock him out. If it doesn't, I'm gonna be pretty upset about that, actually. This should knock him out though, unless we get like an absolute min roll. And we don't, sweet, okay. So Moltres kills Blastoise with Flamethrower. You don't hear that often. Moltres kills Blastoise with Flamethrower. Okay, so Blastoise is gone. Now, the one downside to Blastoise going down is Primarina no longer can just Moonblast away, but Primarina does still put in some work against like Zoroark and stuff like that, so it also gives me a Dragon switch in, so he can't freely Draco Meteor against me. So we got a couple things going for us there. Now, in my mind, he likely goes, let's see here, what do I think he's gonna go into? Scolipede doesn't have Rock Slide, I think we can pretty much establish that. He likely goes Marowak, and I can Hurricane or U-turn out. If Marowak comes in, I just stay in on it. The only thing I switch out on here is probably Lati. That's probably the only thing I'll switch out on is the Lati. So here comes Dougie. So he actually goes Dugtrio. So this is kind of an interesting play here, because I have the Charty, and I can definitely take a hit from this thing. And I think he might be either Scarfed or Sashed. Flamethrower does a lot to him. And he can't trap me, so I can easily make a prediction here. But you know what? Bronzong is such a great switch into Dugtrio. But if this is the Zoroark, then that is a big problem. So what do I think this is? Is this the Zoroark, or is this the Dugtrio? I think I Flamethrower and find out. because now that Scolipede is incredibly weakened, it's much less of a threat than it was before. Although Moltres is still one of my primary responses to it, because if Bronzong gets weakened, then Scolipede can sweep. But it wasn't Life Orb, I don't think. We didn't see Life Orb. So we know that, so it's less of a threat. I think I want to stay in Flamethrower. If he's Rock Slide, we can live it. He's gonna go for the knockoff, so we know it's the Zoroark. Okay, perfect. He gets rid of our Charty Berry, but we find out that he was the Zoroark. I had a feeling that it was the Zoroark. I really did. I didn't want to mess around with that thing, so we're gonna do a tremendous amount of damage to him. We reveal the Zoroark. He's sitting at about 30% now as well. We saw the knockoff, and that is actually wonderful for us. So I can actually roost off the damage here now. I don't think Zoroark really gets any coverage moves. I'm gonna just do a quick search on Zoroark now and just see if Zoroark has any coverage moves. Like, obviously, if he went for like a dark type move, he might be able to knock me out, but Roost seems like a solid play here if he's physical, because knockoff really isn't gonna do too much to us. So he could be mixed Zoroark. Let me find Zoroark here. Okay, so Zoroark, yeah, if he's, let me actually calc that knockoff, because that did a good amount. Like, I don't know if he's like SD or anything. Yeah, that did like pretty much max attack. I want to say he's like max attack Zoroark, because that did a solid chunk to us actually. Yes, he's definitely physically offensive. So I'm gonna go for the Roost. He's gonna switch out. So I think he might be banded based on that damage. I have kind of a small feeling that he might be banded. But here comes Lati. So the Latios comes out, and we actually get to Roost up, and we're sitting back at full. Now, we don't have an item anymore, which is definitely a bummer, but we're sitting back at full. So now, what does this Lati want to do against me? If he's like Life Orb Latios, he could potentially knock me out with a Draco Meteor, especially if he goes for like the Z Draco Meteor. So I'm really feeling this is a pretty safe switch into Bronzong here at this point in time. So I think I'm gonna make the Bronzong play. He's not really in a position that I feel like he can predict me yet. So I'm gonna go Bronzong. You know, Bronzong still has some usefulness, or I think Fox still has a lot of usefulness with the Marowak and the Scolipede. And he can't trap my Bronzong either, so I do like that Latios actually matches his team colors, dude. I didn't even think about that, but that's a great nickname. So that's really cool. That's really, really cool. So his Latios matches the Donphan's colors, but I think like the only way this turn goes really badly is if he goes for a Shadow Ball here, which I don't think he will. That would be a really top-notch prediction, but he's gonna Psyshock. So we see the Psyshock. Now, will we see an item on this thing? Is it gonna be Life Orb? That really doesn't do too much to us, and we don't see an item. So I know I can take a Shadow Ball here. I think this is my opportunity to set up Stealth Rocks though. As much as I like don't want him to set his own rocks up, I think getting at my rocks is really important because that's gonna really, really hinder his switch-ins and force him to defog later. So I'm gonna just go for the rocks here. I think that that's a really good play with Alolan Marowak and Scolipede being so low. That puts Scolipede into Aqua Jet range if it takes more rocks damage. I'm not sure if he has defog, but he likely has a dragon move, and we'll see if he has Shadow Ball if he prepared for the Bronzong with his Latios. That's really the hardest hitting thing that he can go for. He could potentially have Never Ending Nightmare and really kind of mess me up right now. That would be definitely a bit of a problem. Like if he was Never Ending Nightmare Latios, is that even one shot though? Let me take a look. Never Ending Nightmare doesn't look like it knocks me out at this range because he wouldn't have the Life Orb boost, so it does 71 to 84. So I think we would actually live a Never Ending Nightmare if that's the way he went. But I could also like scout and go Umbreon. So he's actually just gonna switch and he goes right into Mask Off, which is the Marowak, which is fine by me. And this gives me an opportunity to set up my Stealth Rocks. Totally cool. And I can easily just go Moltres now. I don't know if he's gonna predict the Moltres play, but that's definitely my safe switch in here to this Marowak. And he likely tries to set Stealth Rocks, is my guess. So I'm gonna go straight Moltres. I'm gonna go straight Moltres here. I'm not gonna overthink this. My switch in right now is Moltres, and he could Shadow Bone me. He could also just try to set up his own rocks if you think that that's important, which honestly at this point in the match, I'm less concerned about him setting his own rocks. We've weakened a lot of his team. I was able to get rid of the Zoroark, which I actually do. I wanna mention, I really think that Zoroark might be banded. The fact that he switched it out on me and the fact that it did as much damage as it did to Moltres makes me think that there's a decent chance it could be Choice Banded. But what's funny there is that Bronzong play, that was a risky play on his part, because I could have went for Shadow Ball and caught the Marowak there, but that's fine. So we'll go Fox here. We'll see if he sets up rocks, or if he goes for the Shadow Bone, or if he goes for a rock type move. He does Shadow Bone. I should be able to take it and be able to potentially take 2. That looks like a pretty solid damage roll there. And he does a good amount of damage to us. So that did 96 out of 197, which is about 50%, 48%. Oh, we have 48% left. And the damage calc on, and I'm faster too, so keep that in mind. The damage calc on Marowak versus me is 45 to 53, and I'm sitting at 48, so it's a damage roll. But I think Hurricane is a really good play here. So I'm gonna just go for the Hurricane. I really wanna hit this thing really hard, and if I lose my Fox in the process, it's gonna be a bummer. But if I hit the Hurricane, it's going to basically remove this thing as a primary threat, because it'll put him pretty close to Stealth Rock range and put him in Aqua Jet range from Primarina. So those are a couple points that I think that are really important. Have to be mindful that the Latios could potentially be scarfed. I don't think it is. We miss a second Hurricane, and he's gonna Shadow Bone us. Can we at least live this on a tiny bit of HP so I can get another Hurricane off? No, that's a bummer. So I missed 2 Hurricanes. Kills Moltres with Hurricane, and that's definitely a bummer, but I can easily go Siren here, and I can start pressing water moves. Yeah, that's a pretty safe bet. How much does my, because this Latios is gonna get worn down pretty easily if I make this play. Let me just check on Latios, and if we get a burn, he's really gonna get worn down. Skull does like 40%, so I'm gonna go Siren here, and I know I'm faster than the Marowak, which we know has Shadow Bone. So his only switching to me clicking Scald right now is the Latios, and he's got a 50-50 to make. So I'm gonna go for the Scald. And it's okay if he goes Latios here. I'm really not too concerned about that. If he wants to go Latios, that's fine. I could make a middle ground play and double into Umbreon this next time instead of going Bronzong. Because he likely, if he goes Latios, he takes the Scald, and then he likely doubles out, predicting Bronzong again. But Scald is really my play. I'm 100% faster than every variant of Marowak. This is Adamant Marowak, but he's gonna switch, so he is probably gonna go into Latios. Yeah, he goes Latios. If I Moonblasted, we would have knocked the Latios out. I didn't want to make an over prediction there. It wasn't really worth it to me, but you see the Stealth Rock's damage, the Scald damage, a potential 30% burn, which would make up for the lack of other moves working. No, we don't get it. Okay, so that's fine. I'm gonna go right into our Umbreon here. I'm gonna make the kind of middle ground play with Umbreon, see what he wants to do, but it doesn't look like Latios is taking another switch in with Scald. Like Stealth Rocks plus Scald. He could defog here, which is fine, but I don't really know what Umbreon, or what Latios is doing to Umbreon. So I'll make the switch, and we'll see what he wants to do here. He could go for a Draco Meteor, or Psyshock, or even a Shadow Ball. I love me some shiny Umbreon. He goes for the Shadow Ball, so he does show the Shadow Ball, so we make a good prediction there with the Latios, and that's gonna do nothing to us. And I'm beginning to think that this thing could be Choice Scarfed. We'll find out right now. Will he stay in? I'm gonna go for the Baton Pass here, and that's gonna give me a free switch into my Primarina if he decides to go Marowak on this Pokemon, or he could go like Dugtrio, he could go Scolipede. He's gonna switch out. What does he go into? He is gonna go into Dougie. So here comes the Dugtrio, which is gonna come in. It's gonna take Stealth Rocks damage. It's gonna be weakened a good amount. I get to Baton Pass out, and I can go into pretty much whatever I would like. So here's the thing about Dugtrio. What do I think he's gonna go for? I could go into Primarina and Aqua Jet, but I don't think that's the right play. I don't want to take an Earthquake. What does Dugtrio do to Bronzong? It really doesn't do anything to Bronzong. It really doesn't do anything to Bronzong. The issue here is Bronzong basically says, hey Marowak, come on in. But if this is a Scarf Dugtrio, then I'm in a bit of a bind, because I can't go to aDrive. But really, what does Dugtrio do to me? He goes for a potential, I mean, I kind of like the option of going into Latias, because Latias can simply Draco Meteor at this point. He doesn't have a Fairy type, and I could Psyshock this thing. I don't think he goes Zoroark. on potential Latias, but that could bring in that's kind of a tricky situation. So what do I want to go into here? I'm just fearing that this thing is choice scarfed. That's really my concern, which is why I don't want to go to Beedrill. I think I'm gonna go. I mean, I have switch-ins to Marowak at this point, and it's very, very low. Marowak is very low. In fact, it could be Stealth Rock's range. So I'm gonna go Bell and force his hand and go for a Gyro Ball here, because Gyro Ball will be able to knock him out, and Dugtrio really can't touch me. So I'm gonna go for this play here. We'll get a little bit of lefties back as well, which is nice. So I'm just gonna go for the Gyro Ball, like I said, because really anything that he switches in here is not gonna like this play. So he could go for like a Sucker Punch, but otherwise Dugtrio really can't touch me. He could also Memento, but he's actually got the. Oh wait, it's the Zoroark? Wait, how does that work? I thought the disguise gets broken, dude. I'm so confused. Oh, does Dugtrio always show up as Zoroark? I broke the disguise earlier. Wait, why does the disguise show up again? Because I didn't break the Dugtrio? That's so stupid, dude. Whatever, it's fine. Bronzong kills. I don't get that. I clearly don't understand that with Gyro Ball. I clearly don't understand the mechanics because I broke the disguise earlier. So like, why did that happen? And I should have realized that Dugtrio was full health. Anyway, stupid me. We haven't seen the Dugtrio yet. We saw the Zoroark. That was a big misplay. I should have went Primarina and Aqua Jetted. Yeah, we just lost half our health on Bronzong for nothing, which was kind of a big deal because Bronzong was one of our primary ways to deal with Latios, but it's not the end of the world. He likely goes Marowak here, and if he goes Marowak, I think I actually just let him knock out Bronzong and then get my Primarina in again to click Scald, because he has no switch-ins to Scald at this point in time. Like, 0 switch-ins. So weird, dude. I can't believe I just messed up the Zoroark mechanics. I thought once you busted Zoroark's disguise, like, it was busted for the rest of the match. I didn't realize that it was gonna display the Dugtrio, so I didn't even think about it. Like, I didn't even realize the fact that that was a mistake, obviously. It's fine. I mean, we took the knockoff relatively well, but like, we're still sitting at just under half. But that's a really frustrating mechanic that I didn't realize. But we got rid of the Zoroark, so no more of that disguise nonsense, which is nice. I think Primarina is actually in a good enough health that it can potentially live. Let's see here, Dugtrio, Focus Sash Trapper. Let's say Sash, but he can't break the Sash. Primarina can actually potentially, no, it's not gonna live in Earthquake. So how much does my my Aqua Jet do? Like 50%, so that's not bad. Okay, so what do I think he's gonna do here? Does he predict the Umbreon? Do I need to keep my Bronzong alive? Is he scarfed Latios? These are the questions we gotta ask ourselves. We've seen Shadow Ball and Psyshock. I think I'm gonna make the play into Luna because I feel like Bronzong is like still worth it, and if he Shadow Balls me, like I can easily take it, and then I can go for Foul Play because he has no switches to Foul Play now. That seems to be a pretty decent option. Or I just Shadow Ball and let him knock me out, and then I go Umbreon, because like, Foul Play at this point knocks something out every time. It knocks out the Lati, it knocks out the Marowak, and it knocks out the Scolipede at this point, and it weakens the Dugtrio to the point where I can Aqua Jet it and clean up with Primarina. So I think the safe play is actually just stay in. If he wants to predict and go for like a Draco, dude, that's not a big deal. Because Luna at this point looks really good, but he probably can't even touch me. I'm just gonna stay in. I don't think we need Bronzong anymore. Bronzong really doesn't do anything. The only issue, yeah, I'm just gonna Shadow Ball. If he knocks me out with Shadow Ball, it's fine. He's gonna actually go for the trick. So we see he was Choice Scarfed. I had a feeling that he was, oh, he's Choice Specs. So now I'm Specs and he's dead. Yo, Bronzong, bro. Bronzong, bro. I didn't even have an item, so I don't know why he did that, but Bronzong kills Latios with Shadow Ball. That's hilarious, dude. So Latios goes down. He probably thought I was switching into Umbreon, if I had to be honest. He probably thought I was making the switch into Umbreon. But at this point in the match, I think we just win with Umbreon. Or if he's not Scarf Dugtrio, we win with Beedrill. Beedrill just comes in and cleans up. Although Scolipede's still around. So this is where Aqua Jet is such a crucial option, having Aqua Jet. Now, can he even knock me out right now? I don't know. Look how low he is. He can't switch out again. I think I could just stay in and Shadow Ball. There's no reason for me to switch out when I have Aqua Jet on my Primarina. There's no reason for me to switch out here. I don't think I can lose to Dugtrio. It can't 1v1 like solo my whole team. I'm gonna Shadow Ball. If he Mega Horns me and knocks me out, it's fine. We simply go into Primarina, Revenge Kill it with Aqua Jet. He has no switch-ins for the Aqua Jet at this point in time. Marowak is gonna be weakened. Aqua Jet's not gonna do much to it, but it'll weaken it down. I have switch-ins with Umbreon. We can just continuously Aqua Jet, force the switches out, and we should be okay here, guys. But I don't even know if Mega Horn knocks me out. If he's not Life Orb, I don't think it does. I'll run the Calc, but I don't think if he's like max attack offensive, I don't think Mega Horn kills if you take away the Life Orb. He's got the Z move on this thing. Wait, was that one of his Z moves? Oh, it was. Okay, so he's gonna what? Go for the Savage Spin Out? Yeah, he wouldn't actually knock me out unless he has the Z move. So what is it? Savage Spin Out? Yeah, Savage Spin Out. So he'll knock us out. No big deal. Scolipede kills Bronzong. That's fine. With Savage Spin Out. That's fine. He kind of had to do that because I don't think Mega Horn was gonna kill me anyway. So he was forced into that situation. And the beauty of this is he has to stay in. He has no way to get rid of hazards now. And this is where having priority is so clutch, guys, because I can go right into Siren here. Even though I'm choice specs, I have the Aqua Jet. He can't switch out. He could try to make a prediction here, but Scully dies on entry. So I just get to click Aqua Jet here, which is so beautiful that I have it in the first place. Again, I mentioned in my team build that we were gonna run Hydro Pump, but it really didn't make a lot of sense in my opinion. The only way this goes wrong is if he actually, well, Marowak is so slow that it's really not a big deal. He could let him go down, go to Dugtrio, knock us out, and then like I have to revenge kill Dugtrio, but Dugtrio can't solo the rest of my team, not when I have an Umbreon. And Marowak is so low at this point in time. Beedrill beats it, Latios beats it, Umbreon beats it with Foul Play. So he's gonna protect, he's gonna scout, he's gonna see the Aqua Jet, it doesn't matter. He cannot switch back in with Scolipede. So if he wants to go Marowak or if he wants to go Dugtrio, that is fine with me. Aqua Jet does go before his potential option here. So I just click Aqua Jet again. Again, if he wants to go Dugtrio, that's fine. He's gonna let him go down. So good kill there. Primarina kills Scolipede with Aqua Jet. Very nice there. So I'll be honest though, the craziest thing is if I didn't have Aqua Jet, he potentially could have just won there if he hit his Mega Horns on everything, because he would have probably one-shot Latias, probably one-shot Umbreon at this range. He may not have been able to one-shot Beedrill, actually. No, I stand corrected. He wouldn't be able to one-shot everything because he doesn't have Life Orb. He was Savage Spin Out, so we would have been able to live with something. Something on the team would have been able to take the hit. But now he kind of has to go Dugtrio, which takes 50% from Aqua Jet. I could choose to save Primarina if he goes Marowak, but I probably just he's gonna go Dougie. So I'm just gonna take the Aqua Jet damage on him. And again, I have a pretty safe switch into whatever I want at this point. He can't beat me, I don't think. So I'm trapped, so I have to Aqua Jet anyway. I'm locked into Aqua Jet and I'm trapped. This should do about 50% to him. I don't know if his Earthquake kills. I think his Earthquake kills. If he's Jolly max attack, Earthquake does 56 to 67. So, but if he's Scarfed, he can't lock himself in Earthquake. So it's kind of a tricky situation, but I'm pretty sure he just knocks out with Earthquake. I Aqua Jet him, get like 50%. He knocks out with Earthquake. And then I can go Beedrill and try to win with Beedrill. I could really win with whoever at this point. I think Beedrill can take a Dugtrio Earthquake. Can I take a Dugtrio Earthquake? Let's find out. I cannot take a Dugtrio Earthquake. So no, I cannot go Beedrill because he could be Scarfed. I have to go Lati and just Psyshock twice. So that's our play, because Dugtrio can't beat Lati. So if he knocks us out here, no big deal. I simply go Lati, I Psyshock twice and win, or Umbreon can get the kills. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to give the kills to Beedrill though, because if he's Scarfed, then we lose a differential point, and that's really stupid. So I am Aqua Jetting. We're going to hit him. It's going to do about 50% to him, knock him really low. He's going to go for the Earthquake. This should knock us out. Pretty much every calc says it knocks us out. If we live, it's on like a 1 health, but it's not gonna matter. So Dugtrio kills Primarina with EQ, and then I pretty much just go Honeydew here, and we click Psyshock twice, and I think that's game. He didn't show Life Orb. I think he's Scarfed. I really do. There's no reason for him to bring Dugtrio unless it was Scarfed, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna run the calc really quick, but yeah, there's nothing he can do to me. Sucker Punch does 50%. He doesn't have a Z move. So we just go Honeydew here and we can wrap up this game. We should be in good shape here to finish it up with a couple Psyshocks. I don't have to risk a miss. Marowak is really low, so we'll just go for the Psyshock here. He is likely, if he switches, then if he Earthquakes, we know he's Scarfed. He's gonna switch, so I'm pretty sure he's Scarfed. He goes into Mask Off, so I was right in my prep prediction there. I don't think this thing takes 2 Psyshocks after Rocks though, so we should be okay. We're max special attack with Soul Dew, so this should definitely 2-shot him. And it looks like it's closer than I was hoping, but it looks like it's a 2-shot here. I'm gonna just quickly double check the calc to be safe. It looked like it did plenty, but yeah, it looks like we do 49 to 60. If he's max HP, we do 40 to 81. Yeah, we're gonna just Psyshock. There's no way. He's clearly not, like, AV doesn't matter, so this should knock him out. If he lives on 1, I'll cry. He does not. Sweet. Latios kills Marowak with Psyshock. And Dugtrio should go down in the Psyshock too. Very clearly Scarf Dugtrio, as I thought. And that's why it's important to not just throw Pokemon out for no reason, because I would have lost Beedrill there. And I just click Psyshock, and that should be game. Sucker Punch will do about 50% to us, but even a crit Sucker Punch wouldn't be able to knock us out. Unless he's like banded, but I don't think he's banded. He needs a crit banded Sucker Punch. Did he get the crit? He got the crit! Dude, I was like, dude, that HP bar is dropping so fast, but Latios kills Dugtrio with Psyshock. So, sweet game there. Good props to KyleAye, or big props to KyleAye for the match. We're going to take a nice 3-0 win there, which was really, really cool. We controlled the match really well. Having the defensive Moltres was clutch. Made some really decent predictions, I think, in there. And I think the match really came down to preparation for us anyway, and feeling comfortable with the game plan. Like I said, my game plan going into this match was to take advantage of Mega Blastoise to allow Primarina to come in and break. And that's exactly what it did. Primarina broke down the Blastoise very, very quickly in the game. It put so much pressure, weakened the Scolipede to the point where he really was so weak. We made a pretty bold prediction with the Moltres on the Zoroark. Took the knockoff, realized that he was probably choice banded Zoroark. Made a couple of nice predictions around the Latios, predicting the Psyshock the first time, and then predicting the Shadow Ball the second time. So that was really nice, and that's one of the reasons why I thought Umbreon Bronzong was a great defensive core for this team. We have a couple other Pokemon that complement it, but Umbreon Bronzong really fit well together. I think the only thing that would make this defensive core better is a Ghost type, and I may add a Ghost type to the team at some point because we don't have one. So I'm thinking about making some free agent moves towards a Ghost type because I think that could be really beneficial for us. But otherwise, I really feel like this defensive core was great. Defensive Moltres put in the work. Bronzong with 2 kills, man. You gotta love that. Picking up a Gyro Ball kill on the knockoff, taking a knockoff from a Zoroark, and also firing off a nice little Shadow Ball to take out the Lati. That was really cool. Moltres getting a nice kill, Flamethrower on Blastoise. Primarina Aqua Jet was huge at the end. It may not have mattered because Beedrill probably could have taken the hits, but nevertheless, Aqua Jet there coming in clutch, getting an Aqua Jet kill on a Specs Primarina. And then last but not least, Latios coming in at the end and being able to clean up the game with us setting up Stealth Rocks with Bronzong. Mid-game proved to be great. We kept the rocks off the field ourselves, and that was awesome. So I think one of the things I want to point out as well that I think is kind of cool is that first turn of the match, Moltres versus Marowak. I think he switched out fearing the Supersonic Sky Strike. I've been known to run first turn Z moves and just blow things back. I think that he was worried about that and didn't want to chance it. We kept the rocks off the field by staying aggressive with Moltres, and it all worked out. We missed 2 Hurricanes, didn't get a single burn with our Flame Body, and otherwise, things would go well. Things went well, so I can't complain. But sorry for talking your ears off. I hope you enjoyed the match. What a great start to our P4G season. Next week, I think we take on the Camden Ursaring and Chance. That should be a good match, hopefully. And I hope you guys enjoyed. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Peace.